Today's lesson is Lesson 11. Use place value understanding to fluently add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard addition algorithm and apply the algorithm to solve word problems. So what are we doing today? Well, basically, to sum this all up, is we're actually adding multi-digit numbers. What does a multi-digit number mean? For example, number 38 is a multi-digit number. It's got two digits, 3 and 8. Now the 3 stands for 30, then we have the 8 ones, 38, multi-digit number. More than one digit. So here's problems letters 1A and 1K from our problem set that we did today in class. So let's take a look here, and just as the learning target said, what are we doing? We're adding multi-digit numbers. So as you can see here, I have the numbers written vertically, up and down. What I want to do when I'm adding numbers vertically is I want to make sure that all my place value positions are lined up the right way. My ones place is on top of my ones place, my tens are together, my hundreds are together, my thousands are together. Now, just like when we learned way back in kindergarten, first, second grade, we want to make sure that we remember how to add. So that's all we're really doing here is basic addition. No matter how long my number is, if I can add 2 or 3 one-digit numbers, I can solve any problem that I get approached with when it comes to adding multi-digit numbers. So here's my ones place. I'm going to start off with my ones place. 1 plus 8. Well, 1 plus 8, we remember from first, kindergarten, second grade, 1 plus 8 is 9. If you forgot, start at your big number, 8. Count up one more. 8, one more, 8, 9. So there's my 9 that would go in my ones place. Move over to my tens place. 1 plus 6. If I'm at 6, I count up one more, 6, 7. Bam, right there in my tens place. Then I go to my hundreds place. 3 plus 2. If I'm at 3, I count up 2 more, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 in the hundreds place. The value of my 5 is 500. And now if you notice here, I don't have anything underneath my 6. I put my comma down, but since I don't have anything underneath my 6, I'm just going to drop it down. Because if there's nothing here, it's just like having a 0. And 6 plus nothing is 6. So 6,311 plus 268. My ones place, 1 plus 8 was 9. My tens place, 1 plus 6 is 7. My hundreds place, 3 plus 2 is 5. And my thousands place, I just dropped my 6. Just like we usually solve addition problems. Up and down vertically, and that way it'll help us add our multi-digit numbers. So let's take a look and see what happens when our numbers are written horizontally. For example, this one right here, number 1K. Number 1K says 38,193 plus 6,376 plus 241,457. Now this is written horizontally. That means left to right, across. We want to rewrite this number, and we want to rewrite it vertically. Now it's important when I'm rewriting my numbers vertically that I make sure that I put my ones with my ones places, my tens with my tens, my hundreds with my hundreds, and so on and so forth until we get all the way to the end of my number. What Mr. Messina likes to do, what I like to do, is I like to look for my biggest number. It's not something you have to do. It just makes it easier for me when I go to solve these types of problems. So, what's my biggest number? Well, this number has 5 digits, this one has 4 digits, this one has 6 digits. I know if a digit has 6 numbers, or if a number has 6 digits, if a number has 6 digits, it's the bigger of these numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this number here, 241,457. Notice I'm not trying to cram it all together. It's going to help me if I space it out a little bit, and you'll see why in just a second here. So now I'm left with 38,193 or 6,376. I know that this one has 5 digits, so that's the next biggest number. I'm going to write that next. Again, you don't have to. What's important is that you make sure that you line up your ones place with your ones place, your tens place with your tens place, hundreds with hundreds. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down. Now, when I notice, I'm going to start with my ones place because that's going to be the easiest place for me to make sure I'm at. So I have a 3 in my ones place. I'm going to come right under this ones place and put my 3 down. Notice I'm going to try and keep it as straight as possible. I have a 9 in my tens place. Let me put that 9 right there in my tens place. A 1 in my hundreds place, so let me put that one there. I always want to put my comma. It's going to separate my periods, my units period versus my thousands period. And when you get to millions and billions, it'll separate those as well. And make sure you put your comma there. Now I have an 8 in my thousands place. So let me find my thousands place, put my 8. A 3 in my 10,000s place. Now, I don't have anything in the 100,000s. I have 2 options here. I can leave it blank or I can put a 0. I'm just going to leave it blank right now If you want to choose to put a 0 there so you can hold your place, as some people like to call it, it's just putting the value of your 100,000, which would be 0. I don't necessarily need to do that, but if you want to, you feel free. And then I have my one number left, 6,376. I start at ones place. I have a 6 in my ones place, a 7 in my tens place, a 3 in my hundreds place, put my comma to separate my units period and my thousands period, and my 6 in my thousands place. And then I put my big equal sign down below. I rewrote this vertically. It's much easier for me to solve this problem vertically than trying to add these digits horizontally. Now I want to make sure I put my operation. I am adding, so I'm going to put that down. Now just like with 1a, we're just going to add these numbers, except for this time, instead of having 2 numbers to add, we have 3 numbers to add. So I started my ones place again. 7 plus 3. If I'm at 7, I count 3 more. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 10. So 7 plus 3 was 10. And then 10 plus 6 more is 16. I put my 6 ones down below. And I bring my 1 10 that's left over up above. You notice I put a plus sign here to make sure that I don't forget I have something to add up here. I have 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 9. Well, if I'm at 9, I count up 6. If I go up 1, that's 10. And then 5 more, that's 15. So 6 plus 9 is 15, and 15 plus 7, my 15, I don't really like to use my fingers when I'm doing addition. Feel free to if you need to, but I know that in 4th grade, I should be able to start doing these things in my head. I should be able to use mental math to solve these. So let me recap here. 1 plus 5 was 6, 6 plus 9, we're at 15. I know 15 plus 5 is 20, and 7 is 2 more than 5, so that's 22. Again, if you need to count 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, feel free. I don't like to use my fingers because I know in 4th grade we should be able to use our mental math. Now it was 22. So I'm going to put my 2 down, and this time I'll put my 2 up top because I had 2 10 extras, so my 2 10s moved over here. So 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7, and 7 plus 3 is 10. My 0 goes down, my 1 comes up top. Don't forget your plus sign. It helps you remember what to do. 1 plus 1 is 8 is 2. 2 plus 8, well I know 8 and 2 more, 8, 9, 10. I'm at 10 plus 6 is 16. Drop my 6 down, carry my 1. Don't forget my plus sign. 1 plus 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus 3 more is 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I didn't bring anything up top there because when I was in my 10,000s place, I only got the number 8. It's not a multi-digit number. If there's only one digit, I don't need to carry anything over. So I have 2 and nothing and nothing. 2 plus nothing is 2. So 241,457 plus 38,193 plus 6,376. When I added all my numbers up, I got 286,026. Now, as you remember from my learning target, what we're going to learn today, we are going to need to use the addition algorithm, that's just adding it up, and apply the algorithm to solve word problems. So the next thing we're going to work on is actual word problems. We're going to think about these word problems, we're going to break them down to make them easier to solve. Take away as many words as we can, so we're left with just a few numbers to help us solve these problems. 1A and 1K from your problem set in class today. Alright, we're still in lesson 11 where we're basically adding multi-digit numbers. Now earlier I just added multi-digit numbers and I said we're going to apply the algorithm to solve word problems. Well, here's the word problem number 2 from your homework. I know it's kind of small on my board, I had a lot to write, but you can follow along on question number 2 with your homework if you need to. Number 2 says, at the zoo, Brooke learned that one of the rhinos weighed 4,897 pounds. One of the giraffes weighed 2,667 pounds. One of the African elephants weighed 12,456 pounds. And one of the Komodo dragons weighed 123 pounds. All that is just my information. The questions don't actually come until I see my letters A, B, C, and D. Now, I only have letter A written on the board right now because that's all I could fit to make sure that we can actually see the whole problem. So as we go through this, I'm going to erase letter A, and we're going to go to letter B, then C, then D, so we can make sure that we remember and learn how to break down a word problem one step at a time. Now, instead of looking at all A, B, C, and D, I'm just going to look at letter A. I'm going to read my question one time without doing anything else. Letter A says, what is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant and the giraffe? So now, what I want to do is I'm going to actually read it one more time, and I'm going to underline anything that I believe is important. So let's go ahead and let's read letter A one more time. What is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant and the giraffe? Well, I see this word combined. Now, I know that sometimes when I'm cooking, I combine ingredients together. I add them together. When I'm making cookies, I might combine some flour and sugar to make a cookie. That means I add the two ingredients together, so that's what I'm going to do, except this time, I'm combining the weight of some things. Whose weight am I going to combine, or what's weight am I going to combine? The problem tells me exactly who or what to combine. What is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant and the giraffe? So what I need to do with this information is I actually need to go back up to my information, question number 2, and I'm going to find the African elephant's weight and the giraffe's weight. I'm going to read all this again. At the zoo, Brooke learned that one of the rhinos weighed 4,897 pounds. I'm not looking for a rhino yet, so I'm going to keep going. One of the giraffes weighed 2,667 pounds. I need the giraffe. So I'm underlining giraffe weighed 2,667 pounds. One of the African elephants weighed 12,456 pounds. Wait, I need that information. So African elephants weighed 12,456 pounds. And one of the Komodo dragons weighed 123 pounds. I don't need that information just yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I know that I have a rhino, a giraffe, an African elephant, and a Komodo dragon. This question only wants to know about the African elephant and the giraffe. So we know that the African elephant weighs this much. So what am I going to do? I'm going to actually write that down. I'll put AE. AE for me this time is going to stand for African elephant. Sometimes I might have enough space to write all that information down, African elephant, but I don't have a whole lot of space right here, so I'm just going to abbreviate AE. As long as I remember what that stands for, African elephant, and it makes sense, I can do that. So that equals, that weight is, bam, right there. African elephant weighed 12,456 pounds. 12,456. And we need to find the giraffe. Let me think, what would be a good thing to abbreviate giraffe with? Not an A, not a B. Why don't I do a G? Why? Because it starts with a G. So I'm going to put a G for giraffe equals, the giraffe weighed 2,667 pounds. 2,667 pounds. I remember when I combine things, that means I just add them up. So all I'm doing in this problem, really, all these words here just mean add the African elephant and the giraffe up. So I'm going to scoot over here, and I'm going to add these up, making sure that I put my ones with my ones, my tens with my tens, my hundreds with my hundreds, my thousands with my thousands, and my 10,000s with my 10,000s. So let's see. First thing I have is I have a 6 and a 7 in my ones place. So I'm going to put 6 and 7. Then my tens place, 5, 6, 5, 6. Then my hundreds place, 4 and 6, 4, 6. I want to put my comma, 2, 2. And then this one I have 1 and then nothing. So I could put a 1 here and nothing here. I could put a 0 there if I want to. I want to make sure that I put my operation though. My operations that I'm adding. Now I just put my 1s first, my 10s. If you want to write each number individually, go for it. But what's important is that you put your numbers in line the correct way. Simple addition problems now. 6 plus 7. Well, I know if I'm at 6 and I count up 7 more, or if I'm at 7 and I count up 6 more, I'll eventually get to 13. I put my 3 down below and my 1 up top here, and I like to put my plus sign so I don't forget what I'm doing. I gotta start at the very top. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. I put my 2 down here, my 1 up top, don't forget my plus sign. 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 6 is 11, I think. Let me double check. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, 11. 1 down, 1 up top, don't forget your plus sign. I see my comma there now. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 more is 5. I don't need to bring anything up top because it's only a one-digit number. And I have a 1 right here. Now something different about this now is that I need to figure out what did that 15,123 stand for? Well, I remember that was the weight. And what did we say we measured these people's or animals' weights? And we said pounds. So I want to make sure I write the word pounds. If you don't write pounds, I might just think that there's 15,123 elephants or 15,123 giraffes. I want you to make sure you tell me exactly what it's asking me about. That the combined weight, and we put our weight in pounds. So the combined weight of the African elephant and the giraffe is 15,123 pounds. We're going to take a look at question letter B next. So if you have any questions about this one, take a look at it for just a second. If you need to rewind to see what we did, go ahead and rewind it. Remember, we combined the weight of these two specific animals. Let's take a look at question letter B. Alright, so we're still looking at the same question, question number 2, except this time we're on letter B. Letter B says, what is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant and the rhino? Well, I remember that combined means that we're going to add something together. We're adding the weight of the African elephant and the rhino. So if I remember from question A, I went back in my information and I found what I was looking for. Let me see. The first thing I'm looking for is my African elephant. So again, I'm going to abbreviate that AE. African elephant. And I remember that the African elephant weighed 12,456 pounds. I already underlined that from question A. I'm just using that information again. So I'm going to rewrite on question letter B, 12,456, and that's going to stand for my African elephant's weight. Now I'm going to look for the rhino. Let me read this again until I find my rhino. At the zoo, Brooke learned that one of the rhinos, oh there it is, the rhinos weighed 4,897 pounds. So I'm going to put an R for rhino, and I'm going to put the rhino's weight. Rhino weighed 4,897 pounds. Now if you remember, I'm going to actually take all these numbers, both of these numbers, I'm going to add them vertically. I showed you last time how to write just by looking at the different place value positions and only doing it one at a time. This time I'm going to use the African elephant's weight and then put the rhino right underneath it. So the African elephant's weight was 12,456 pounds. Then I have my rhino. Now if you remember from questions 1A and 1K, I'm going to look at my ones place first. I have a 7 under the 6, a 9 under the 5, an 8 under the 4, my thousands place is a 4, I didn't forget my comma. I don't have any 10,000s place, I'm going to put a plus sign. So now it's just another simple addition problem. 6 plus 7. Well, what is 6 plus 7? 6 plus 7 is 13. I put my 3 down, I bring my 1 up top, don't forget my plus sign. 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 plus 9 is 15. I put my 1's place down. I have a 5 in my 1's place, and the 1, the 10 extras, got to go over here. So now I have 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 plus 8. If I'm at 8 and I go up 5, I get to 13. I put my 1 up top, my 3 goes down at the bottom, and now I put my comma down. 1 plus 2, I'm now in my thousands place. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7. And then I drop my 1 down. I didn't need to carry anything over because it was just a one-digit number when I added my thousands place up. So what does 17,353 stand for? It stands for pounds because we were looking for the weight of the African elephant and the rhino. So take a look at letter B. We solved it the same way as letter A, except this time we were looking at a different animal. We're looking at the African elephant, and this time the rhino with the African elephant. You need to rewind it and watch me resolve letter B. Go ahead and rewind it now. Otherwise, keep watching for question letter 2C. 2C. So now we're here on question 2C. Question 2C wants to know, what is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant, the rhino, and the giraffe? Well, again, I'm combining weight. That means I'm adding things together. Just like A, just like B, C's asking the same thing. This time I'm noticing something's a little different. What is the combined weight of the zoo's African elephant, the rhino, and the giraffe? What's different about this problem than letters A and B? Oh yeah, letter A and B only wanted me to solve 2 of the animals' weights. This time we just have a third animal. Just like question letter 1K, I had 30 numbers to add up. It's the same thing, except this time it's just written basically in words. Just like in A and B, first thing I'm looking for is my African elephant. That's the first letter. The first words that'll combine the weight of. African elephant. Let me go back in my problem and find my African elephant. At the zoo, Brooklyn, that one of the rhinos weighed, the giraffe weighed. The African elephant weighed 12,456 pounds. I'm going to write down 12,456. That's my African elephant. I'm going to look for the rhino. I'm putting R for rhino, remember? I'm going to look for my rhino. One of the, first animal I see. The rhino weighed 4,897 pounds. 4,897 pounds. And then I need to find my giraffe, that long-necked giraffe. The rhino, the giraffe. The giraffe weighed 2,667 pounds. Put a G for giraffe, 2,667 pounds. Alright, now, all I need to do is take my 3, combine them together. What's combine mean? Just like when I'm making cookies, I might add some flour and sugar and some butter together to make a good cookie. Here's my flour, my sugar, my butter, basically. I'm going to put them all together. My African elephant, my rhino, and my giraffe. Let me double check my numbers though, just to make sure. African elephant, 12,456. Got it. My rhino, 4,897. 4,897. Got that one. And my giraffe, 2,667. 2,667. Perfect. I can move on to just my addition. Let me write my African elephant first. 12,456. Come over here. 12,456. My rhino. Again, I'm going to start my ones place. A 7 in my ones place. A 9 in my tens place. An 8 in my hundreds place. A 4 in my thousands place. I don't have any 10,000s. Do I need to put anything? No. Or I could put a 0 if I choose to. Then my giraffe. A 7 in my ones place. A 6 in my tens place. A 6 in my hundreds place. My comma, and a 2 in my thousands place. Now just simple addition here. My ones place. 6 plus 7. 6 plus 7. I've already solved this once before. 6 plus 7 is 13. And then 13 of 13 plus 7 more. Well, that equals 20. A 0 down, 2 up top this time because I have 2 tens left over. I put my plus sign. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 9. 9 plus 7. I don't want to use my fingers, but I do know if I have 9 and I go up 1 more, that's 10. I have 6 more to go, that's 16. And then 6 more. So 2 plus 5 was 7. 7 plus 9 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. My 2 down. And my 2 up top again. And then my hundreds place. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. And 14 plus 6 is 20. 0 down, 2 up top. My thousands place. Oh, let me put my comma. It's the next thing that I see. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And 8 plus 2 is 10. 0 in the thousands place. My 1 up top. Don't forget my plus sign. 1 plus 1 is 2. What does 20,020 stand for? It stands for pounds. So I'm going to write the word pounds. Question 2C, basically the same as 2A and 2B, except this time I have 3 animals instead of just the 2. You need to rewind question letter C to see how we looked at it and solved it. Go ahead. Otherwise, letter D is coming up now. And here we go on the grand finale of question number 2 on our homework. Question number 2D. What is the combined weight of the zoo's Komodo dragon and the rhino? So here we are again. We still see this word combined weight. By now we know combine, we know it means to add, so we're going to add the weights of something. Of the zoo's Komodo dragon and the rhino. I don't remember reading anything about the Komodo dragon in a while, so let me go back and find my Komodo dragon. At the zoo, Brooke learned that one of the rhinos weighed 4,897 pounds, one of the giraffes weighed 2,667 pounds, and one of the African elephants weighed 12,456 pounds. Whew! And one of the Komodo dragons, aha! There's my Komodo dragon, weighed 123 pounds. So let me put a KD right here for Komodo dragon, and it weighs 123 pounds. And then my question says, what's combined with the Komodo dragon? Got it. And the rhino. Let me find my rhino here. 4,897 pounds. So let me put my R for my rhino. 4,897 pounds. Well, I want to make sure I put my big number on top, my bigger number on top. So I'm just going to combine them. I'm going to add them up. 4,897. I'm going to add a 3 in my ones place, a 2 in my tens place, and a 1 in my hundreds place. This time I don't need a comma because there's nothing to separate my hundreds and my thousands in this number because there's only 3 digits. Now, just simple addition. 7 plus 3. I know 7 plus 3 is 10. 0 down, 1 up top. Don't forget your plus sign. 1 plus 9, we're in my tens place. 1 plus 9 is 10. And then 10 plus 2 is 12. 2 down, we're in my 1 up top. Remember, 12. 12. Down my hundredth place. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. 0 down, 1 up top. Don't forget my plus sign, please. Now I need to put my comma because we're separating my units period and my thousands period. And 1 plus 4 is 5. 5,020, what does it stand for? It stands for the weight. What do we weigh animals in right now? According to my problem, we weigh them in pounds. Let me write pounds. And that's it for question number 2 in